amazing career, and he has developed lot many things. And what we see, the transformed Hyderabad that we see, is because of IT, and he has been instrumental in bringing that in place. So what I thought and what I shared with him, that why not discuss about various aspects of human capital development. So there used to be a very old movie called Naya Daur, if you would have seen it. I think Dilip Kumar was there. And in that there was a bullock cart race with a bus. So, and ultimately the bullock cart won. So here we are in the similar situation. So what is your take on that? Are we, the manual things should win, or they should be together and create a new world? So what is your take on AI as of now?
Yeah, it's a very good example, Talis. So what I see is we have to innovate something new every day. It's not that whatever is today, it's going to be there for next 10 years or 20 years. That was the previous era. But today, everyone, every organization have to keep on innovating how the things are getting transformed and come with a very innovative boutique solutions. Our bullock carts are boutique solutions, where the big bus, maybe big AI engine, but definitely our bullock carts are going to surpass. I was just talking to one of our speakers here. So there are a lot of applications using the same, see the AI, that generative AI is a Brahmastra. Using the same Brahmastra, you can create a lot of opportunities for the industry, for yourselves and for the people, right? Around those generative AI, a lot of things can be developed, applications can be developed. In fact, there are cross-department applications where generative AI is used, and here every state is a country by itself. The language is different, and the customs are different, cultures are different. Using the same tool, lot of new applications can be created by our startup companies. That's where now ISF is now coming forward. How do we take that Brahmastra and create opportunities? Those bullock carts, maybe that bullock carts may surpass the Brahmastra itself.
So ultimately the bullock carts have been surpassed. The buses are the mode of transport, or it has been taken over, and we hardly see any bullock carts now. That there has been a transition, that's what I would say, and we should live with it instead of getting scared. The second part of our discussion, that was about the startup ecosystem, as we discussed, and how is it enabling the overall economic scenario and a scenario for human capital. And I would also like to understand what is the role of Startup Foundation and how you have been facilitating new startups.
Talis, that's a very important question. See, a lot of startups in India, they're under the impression that if they get a Series A funding, it's a big success. So, a lot of such myths, they're all developing, and some startups, oh sir, my app, this is going to be a $1 billion opportunities and all that. They don't do proper groundwork, they don't do, that's why the mentoring is very, very important. So, India Startup Foundation, we do most of the activities are all mentoring, around mentoring only, because if they are in the same path without proper guidance, they will go nowhere, right? And that's where we created a big mentor grid, and right from early stage onwards, we handhold them and see that many companies I noticed they're going to the wrong direction. We have to tell them, no, Baba, it is not going to work. Instead, you look at these opportunities, and fortunately, we have many mentors who are doing the free mentoring. None of our mentors are demanding any money. And also, I realized recently during the India Startup Foundation festival at Bangalore, I thought the real estate people and the pharma industry people, they don't invest in technology companies. Surprisingly, all these people who are into real estate, who used to earlier invest in land and the buildings and all that, they came to our conference. And on the first day of the conference, 150 term sheets were signed by them for early stage startups. 150. Nowhere in the world it happened. So that means there are people who wants to help these startups. Only we have to bring them together as a family and make them understand it's a important nation building activity that all of us have to think through. It's not that you are investing in this company, I want to get good returns out of that thing. And also we want to reverse the Silicon Valley model. What is Silicon Valley model of investments in startups? There only 1 out of 10 companies are successful as per their formula. We want to reverse that. Why can't we make 9 startup companies to succeed out of 10 by continuously mentoring them, see that their problems, how do you take them to the markets. In fact, what we're doing, Talis, these 30 companies got selected by us. Not only we enabling the local market access, but all of them, sir, we are looking at international market access, but with the funds that what we have, we can't go to those markets. So what we decided, next year, in 2024, we are taking all this 20-30 companies to Sydney, Auckland, then Singapore, Belgium, Paris, London, New Jersey, Dubai, all these places we are going to run India Startup. We now made as the International Startup Foundation, because they asked when we were having a discussion with the Sydney Startup, so what is that we are getting out of this conference? If you make it India Startup Festival only meant for the Indian startups to be benefited, then I realized what they are looking for. They are all looking for, India is a very big market, but they don't have any clue how to get into that India market. So that's when I thought, let us make this India Startup Foundation to International Startup Foundation. Now we want to take those companies, those startups in Sydney, also provide them with the market access to India, because India believes in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Whole world is one family. So we are looking at that kind of organization. That's the International Startup Foundation is the one which is like a Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam for startups.
Lovely. That's a wonderful thing. The second aspect, this is a question that we discussed, but I'd like to, improvise on that. As the scenario is changing, earlier, like in the times where I come from and I was in my academic institutions and doing my PGs and all, the focus was majorly on getting a job, and you got to be in some other country at some point in time. So that was the focus.
Yes.
Especially, I come from Andhra Pradesh, so we discussed yesterday that you have to be in US if after completion of your degrees, and also that was the only thing that people are looking at. But with a lot of startup buzz being around, so does the curriculum for education institutions need to be reworked, and some sort of a sense of entrepreneurship should be instilled in the students? So we would like to understand that, and if yes, then what it should be.
Yeah, so I have been visiting many universities in the recent past. Surprisingly, I found some universities like, for example, Chitkara University. When we visited that university, though it's a private university, there are 173 startups have been incubated. Out of that, 73 startups got exits. And there, right from gardener to the person who is working in the canteen, they're all talking about startups. There is a startup-led education, startup-led learning. That is the model I am telling every university, every college, engineering college. In fact, I met a couple of computer science heads while they were coming from Hyderabad. They're all sitting here. Sir, we are having engineering college. Most of them are all IT-based courses and all that. This year, many companies, they used to come earlier, but this year they're not coming. We don't know how to get the jobs. So that mode of colleges will not survive unless you create a startup environment within your campus. Give lots of problems. Around Pune, there's a humpty number of problems are there. Local problems, infrastructure problems. You curate all these problems and give these problems to your students and ask them to create startup companies, get some little bit of funding for them. Then once they start up, I noticed in Chitkara University, second year students, they started a company and I asked them, what is that, how is that you are able to, sir, now we know how to get finances, how to take care of deep technology related issues, how to brand our product or this thing. So who is teaching? Nobody is teaching, they are learning by themselves. So it is a Ekalavya model of learning has to happen, because everything is available, Google or ChatGPT, you type, everything is available. Only thing is, you should have that mindset. Then though you are not able to start that company, make that company succeed, 99% those students will get very good jobs because they have the holistic learning, holistic education, not just, one deep tech knowledge. So unless they have the jack of all mindset. Earlier, master of none, jack of all. Now, jack of all kind of a mindset is required. They have to keep scanning, mechanical, are there any jobs? Electrical, are there any jobs? Civil, are there any jobs? Or healthcare, this thing, what's happening? Unless you have that holistic knowledge, you will not be able to build any product or solution. So that is the kind of education which is required now.
Wonderful. So second last question that we'll come to is about the anticipation or visualization of the current situation that you had when you're setting up your STPI at Bangalore. So is the world the same as you assumed, or it's much different from those days?
No, when I started Software Technology Park in Bangalore, I was the first employee of the Software Technology Park scheme. I myself did not visualize that that particular scheme can create millions of jobs in the country. You all know that during the license Raj in 70s and 80s, to get a import license for a computer, it used to take 1 year. I know many entrepreneurs like Narayan Murthy, Ajim Premji, they used to sit in Department of Electronics corridors for getting to meet those officers who are, those days our instructions were, we used to write note sheets for every proposal. We used to write how this proposal can be rejected. If I write that this proposal can be approved, then they think that my colleagues, oh, he has got some vested interest, that's the reason why he is approved. So everybody used to, most of the cases we used to reject. And those days duties used to be more than 350% customs duty on this thing. So with that kind of environment, many NRIs came to India and they left because they could not manage. The moment the Software Technology Park scheme, where all the powers of different departments given to one officer, and they did a pilot in Hyderabad with the Texas Instruments. So Texas Instruments was a guinea pig. And the Committee of Secretaries at Delhi, they used to monitor. We have given a lot of powers to Mr. J. Chaudhary as the founding director of STPI, located TI. Whether he's misusing or using like that, we used to send the reports to them. And even myself, I did not visualize that time that particular initiative of Government of India can create millions of opportunities. Today we are talking about India $1 trillion economy and all that. It's all IT-led. IT has created all these opportunities. Not only in India, our people went to different countries. You go to any country, the Indians are there in that country because of IT, not because of other earlier only doctors used to go. You go to any country today, nook and corner of the world. So IT has brought that kind of a visibility and branding. Even I myself was, I could not visualize that that could bring that change. But only my worry is, though last 30 years we created so many millions of jobs through the IT services and all that, with this new technology like generative AI, what will happen to all that? So that is my new worry. So what is that we need to do, STPI +++ to make sure that our the people who are youngsters who are coming out of the institutions, how we can groom them, how they can create new bullock carts with the chat GPT and cross over all the borders. That's my worry.
So hope, they don't manifest.
I think this is a great country. Something will manifest. Something will manifest.
We'll manage it somehow.
Yes.
And coming to the next one, what is the current passion that you have? And we are sitting in Pune right now, and Pune is a place where a lot of farming is being done, and government has been promoting it. And I have been a part of something called India Food Expo and flower and plant exhibitions in Pune. And they have been doing phenomenal work. And your passion happens to be around this organic farming. So can you just run us through that as well?
That's a very good question, Liz. Basically, I come from a farming community. And when I sold my company to NVIDIA, I had a lot of money. My friends asked me to buy some real estate around Hyderabad. Hyderabad, a lot of things are happening. But being a farmer, I want to do real farming. So I went to my village, acquired about 500 acres, and I wanted to do organic farming. I got 150 desi cows, and I did a lot of investments into that this thing, because what I noticed in the villages in particular, if one person in a family, they get into any of the terminal diseases like cancer or heart attack and all that, entire family was becoming a beggar family. It happened to some of my relatives who had 30, 40 acres of land. One person got cancer, and they admitted him in one of the corporate hospitals in Bangalore. And by the time that patient died, the entire family, they have to sell off their land. They have taken a lot of loans at a very, very high interest. Now, today, all the family members, they are working in the construction sites in Bangalore. There are many families are becoming like that. So, when I analyze why these things happening, earlier in villages, I used to eat only millet-based food. So now everybody wants to eat polished rice and all that this thing, and all the vegetables. In fact, one day when I was visiting one tomato farm, who used to supply those tomatoes to create some tomato ketchup and all that for multinational companies. I and my friend wanted to see whether we can grow the same tomatoes in our field. Tomatoes were really good and good quality, good color. And I was about to eat one tomato by cleaning that tomato with my bottled water. That farmer came running, sir, don't do it. Hey, what is the problem? No, I'm cleaning with water, I can eat this tomato. No, sir, we are applying 10 times powerful pesticides. This pesticide was gone inside. We don't eat any of these things. Then why are you producing? Sir, without doing that, we economists will not work. We will not survive as a farmer. There's a reason why, because they wanted this color, this size and all that. Unless we do that, and that kind of vegetables we are eating, that means we are eating poison. There's a reason why my current passion is how do we create safe food at the same cost as the other food. Because today, the moment you say it's an organic product, they are jacking up the price. Can we produce these organic products or natural foods at the same cost? So that is the project. I donated my land, whatever land I acquired after selling my company to NVIDIA. I donated that land to a Satyasai Trust. Now they are bringing 2 universities, one Agri-Tech University, one Food Technology University, and they're going to have a seed bank and cement bank, and all those things are happening, and we are going to create a lot of agripreneurs and also food technologypreneurs in the same campus. So my interest is using that. Can we produce a large number of processed, the natural food at the same cost, so that many people, instead of eating poison, they can eat safe food, so that they not have to get into the hospitals and spoil their health and all that. That's my current passion. Hopefully, I'll be able to succeed in this last project.
So hopefully we all will get some good food that you're serving.
Definitely, yes.
And coming to the last part, that's on the little more, again, your personal interest on educating the voters, the young voters who are currently, the opinions and ideologues are built by a lot of commotion and, how do we put, various information sources that are there around them. So how do you intend to do that and build a little cynical approach of voters and educating them?
In fact, this is the election time. About 10 years back, when I was managing director of NVIDIA, one of the all-hands meeting, there were some employees who came from the San Jose office. They were all sitting. And they started asking, sir, in our colony, water is not coming, and a lot of potholes coming to our office and all that. Then I said, it is not related to NVIDIA. Why are you asking these generic questions? Then similar questions others are also started asking. Then I don't know what answer to be given. I asked them, how many people do you have voter ID? Only 4 people, they said, yes, we have. How many people you exercise your vote? Only one person said, sir, last elections I went to exercise my vote. There was a big queue, and summer was this thing, I could not face that sun. So after half an hour, I came back without exercising. Then I asked the same person, suppose if you want to watch a Bahubali movie, do you think you will come out of the queue and this? No, sir, I will, whatever it is, I want to buy the ticket and watch the you are giving that much importance to watch a movie, and this comes once in 5 years, an opportunity to elect the leader of this country. When we recruit people, we put lot kinds of restrictions, written tests they have to pass, they should be 99% marks in the IITs and all that, this thing. After that, several interviews, then only we'll do the due diligence. What he has done in the previous companies, whether he has done and messed up this thing. For employing one employee in your organization, you are doing all that. Whereas electing our leader, you don't even go and exercise your vote. And you think that they have to do great job for us. So that's when I created an organization called Let's Vote. It's an NGO. Unless educated people, we are supposed to be role models. Rural India, they are all participating in the election process. But unfortunately, most of the urban cities, educated people who are working in the IT, we'll take that as a holiday. So literally, we used to take the applications to all the IT companies in Hyderabad and get them voter ID card, and we ran several walkathons and all that, this thing to make sure that educated people, because at least you, out of 10 people, suppose all the 10 people are rogues and all that, there is a provision given by the Election Commission called Nota. If you don't find any good people there, you go for Nota. If the Election Commission sees that more votes are given Nota, they will cancel that election. But we are not doing that. We are not even, we are giving all kinds of reasons. And today, one more big thing which is happening, we are all taxpayers. Why we are giving taxes to the government, either local government or central government, for creating good infrastructure, good health care, good taking all our borders, everything. That is the mainly meant for why we are giving taxes. Today, most of the political parties, they are just giving freebies. This is free, that is free. They are making everybody lazy. And with that, what is happening? There's no money. Suppose state budget is X, they're giving 10X freebies. So how the government is going to run? How the basic infrastructure is going to be created? We are not asking. Everybody is afraid. I don't know why they are afraid. Because our own money, we are giving it as in terms of taxes. Why can't we, raise that issue? You cannot, give the freebies beyond X percentage. That is meant for these things. So unless we start questioning these things, otherwise we are only creating a mockery of democracy, and the kind of money that people are giving for buying the votes and all that, this thing is not good for the country. Everybody has to stand up, and we have to create a good, healthy democracy. Then only this great nation will march forward. I request all of you to participate in this coming elections by exercising their vote. Thank you.
So it's always an honor and a lot of learning talking to you. And so with this, we'll end this thing.
Thank you.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.